All right, my name is Dr. Katie Cole. I'm an osteopathic and psychiatry physician by training. I also have additional training in functional medicine, leadership development, and physician coaching and burnout. And at the time I reached out to Dr. Ko, it was about in January 2021 of this year. And I was feeling really lost in my career, even though I've had multiple different career choices. I really felt like I wasn't maximizing my potential and I wasn't fulfilled in my career. So I was really intrigued. I'd been following Dr. Ko on Facebook for about a year, and I was really interested in how she blended both leadership and personal development in her podcasts and her teaching. So I joined her mastermind class in January of 2021, and I'm so grateful that I did. What we dove deeply into multiple different topics, and one of them specifically for me was working on self-esteem and self-image. And it was really interesting to me because as a psychiatrist, working in personal development and growth and being in therapy for over 20 years, I realized how much more work I had to do on myself. And I realized that I had a lot of negative self-talk and criticism and unconscious thoughts and patterns that were running in the background that were actually dictating the choices that I made in my career and my personal life. So as a result, I've really worked on my self-esteem, and my family and friends can tell a difference in how I handle situations. I am much more responsive versus being reactive when there's challenging communication times. And my colleagues at work have even noticed a difference in how calmer I am and more organized in my thoughts and more supportive. So I've really been able to improve my leadership strengths and qualities. What I value most about Dr. Ko is her warm, welcoming approach and her unique blending of both personal and leadership development. And that's something that's very unique in a business coach. She also speaks in a way that is very intuitive to us physicians, so we understand these concepts. I came to you initially in January with a goal of, in 4 months, having clarity in my role in medicine moving forward, because at the time I didn't even know if it would be possible for me to continue to be in healthcare. And I feel like I have streamlined and had a better understanding of the leadership role that I want to play in medicine, and that is being a physician advocate and helping to improve the culture in healthcare, making it a healthier culture for physicians and administration and staff. And so I feel like that is my true calling. And now that I have that direction, we have a plan in place for me to continue to work toward finding that ideal position for myself. Number one, my action steps have been multifactorial. So part of my issue the past 4 years has been that I didn't feel like I could rebrand myself and work on my marketing piece of who I'm becoming. And because of the work that we have done, I now was able to reach out to my marketing consultant, and she's already rebranding everything this week for me. So I have a website that's going to be geared more toward physician leadership and chief wellbeing officer versus being more like physician coaching. My LinkedIn, Doximity, and all of my social media pages will be streamlined and consistent. So when I start the interview process, it looks more corporate, and they can see what I have done in the past 20 years regarding leadership and personal development. I have a strategic plan to start with Dr. T.H. Shanafelt, and he is the Chief Wellbeing Officer for Stanford. And my plan is to meet with him and really understand if there is any gap in my knowledge or training that he feels I would need to complete this role. And if not, then I will have more of an understanding from his standpoint of what makes a successful chief wellbeing officer, as well as a key connection and a mentor. And through that, then I plan to reach out to healthcare organizations and nonprofits to see who would be interested in working with me on developing this position. My ultimate goal, and this is my even bigger C goal, and I know Dr. Ko, we haven't really talked about this, but I envision myself being in more of a consultation role and traveling around to different hospitals throughout America and helping them implement chief wellbeing officer positions. And that would be my dream, ultimate dream goal. One of the things that is really key is understanding how to work through fear. Because when we have fear, we create our own obstacles to um, obtaining our dreams and manifesting opportunities. So, one key area that we worked on with Dr. Ko was that through my fears and thoughts that were not rational, I was setting up obstacles and I wasn't moving forward. So I would have this idea that I wanted to make this call, but I wouldn't make this call because I would be afraid that I wouldn't succeed and I would fail. And so I wouldn't make the call. And making the call would open up another door and open up another door, etc. So I think being able to work through obstacles and fear is very key. The other point that we really delved deep into was what I'm really passionate about in medicine. And I didn't have that clarity before January. And it took a couple of months. But now that I have clarity that I am a true physician advocate, and that is my dream to make a healthier work environment for doctors moving forward, I feel very confident in that. And now know that that is the direction that I want to work toward. One of the key learning points from this work has been when you negotiate, you come in understanding what value you bring to who you're talking with, the organization. So understanding what their needs are and how I would fill that need for them, if not, and beyond. Ideas I have to even create a better solution for the need that they have. So understanding that is a really key aspect of negotiation, along with I've been studying Chris Voss, the FBI negotiator, and watching his masterclass, and I've read his book twice. And as a psychiatrist, I have all this training in mirroring and labeling, but I haven't really been taught how to blend it together. And we've talked about that in our course as well. And so I think learning how to blend mirroring and labeling in a crucial conversation with somebody has really helped me learn how to de-escalate tense situations. Even as a psychiatrist, I've used this at work with patients who are psychotic and agitated or manic, and it's amazing. I even had a sheriff get agitated with me, and I was able to de-escalate her by mirroring and labeling. And I mean, I've never had that experience before. And I had bullying at work. I had a manager bullying me and targeting me, and I used the mirroring and labeling with her. And so it's really allowed me to learn how to navigate difficult relationships at work, because that's something that I also want to master, is being able to work with people that have some personality difficulties, and continue to still work with them and have an ongoing supportive relationship, as supportive as it can be. I'm telling you, my languaging has changed. You can hear my voice is deepened, and I've always been kind of teased about having a high voice, and I sound like a 12-year-old on the phone, and I've really learned how to drop my voice, speak slower, sound more confident, and it makes a difference in how people respond to me. So I feel like that's a huge negotiation skill moving forward. Yes. So one of my personal goals is to really think about adding in multiple streams of income, so that way that I have more of a buffer and I can really follow my passion and my dream in medicine. So I am looking at purchasing an investment property in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is a very sacred family place for me as a kid growing up and vacationing there. And so I have that in the works, and hopefully we'll be meeting with a realtor in August when I go out there to visit. I'm also looking at investing in other opportunities as well, and have started the process getting into cryptocurrency. So there's, as you start opening up your mind and thinking about possibilities, all of a sudden the universe starts sending you opportunities to look at. So I'm definitely making headway in my goal. If any of this is resonating with you, I encourage you to consider reaching out to Dr. Ko for a consultation. And that's the best decision that I made in January. I look forward to continuing my work with Dr. Ko, and I hope to see you in the next Mastermind cohort.